Greetings, sports fans, and welcome to Making Sales Social Live, brought to you by Social Sales Link. I'm Bob Woods, the LinkedIn Sherpa. This podcast episode will have nothing to do with sports, by the way. And I'm joined by fellow LinkedIn and social selling professional who's also known as the LinkedIn Whisperer, Bryn Tillman. Hey, Bryn.
Hi, I was wondering why you opened up with sports fans.
So, let's talk about this game. Talk about who's at first base or so. I don't know. I can't even think of anything. That's how wacky that was. But we're going to talk about something that's may sound a little wacky at first, but when you think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
Welcome to Making Sales Social Live, as we share LinkedIn and social selling training, strategies, and tips that will have an immediate impact on your business. Join Bryn Tillman and me, Bob Woods, every week. Making Sales Social Live. This is the recorded version of our weekly Making Sales Social Live show.
So we're going to be talking about using LinkedIn's Jobs tab and the whole jobs functionality behind it. So
for sales.
For sales. Important. For sales. Yes, exactly. So when, most people way back when, and even today, use LinkedIn for career advancement. And then on the flip side, companies and recruiters use it to look for people who are looking to advance careers and hoping to get them into their companies. We're talking a little bit different today. We're talking about using all of those functions, but instead for salespeople who are looking for companies that might need their products or services. And it can be done. And I'll guarantee you, it's a way that many to most people are probably not doing it, but there is a wealth of information that you can find from job listings, believe it or not.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about this. It's really simple to do. And like you said, very few people are leveraging it. So should I get started or you get started?
I will toss out. I'll toss out the first pitch to.
There you go. We brought it full circle.
Exactly. Here we go. So, would you like to know when companies are hiring? Because that's an indication that companies are growing. When they're growing, they just might need whatever services that you provide. And it's going to be impossible to talk about like specific industries and things like that. There may be a tip or two that where you're like, oh, I don't know if I could use this at all. But if you're in one of those types of sales positions where you work really well when companies are growing to sell your products or services into, that right there is gold.
Yeah. So let's think about this. Who are your buyers? For us, our buyers could be chief marketing officers or chief revenue officers or sales enablement. So what we want to do is start to find out when there are new positions open for those roles. Why? Because when someone else comes in new into that company, they're open to hearing new ideas. They're being brought in to make change. So, we want to keep monitoring that, right? So ABC company is hiring a new chief marketing officer. There are a few things I want to do. The first thing is, where did their old one go? Because there's an opportunity there too.
Dun-dun.
Right? But let's, we want to keep an eye on the new marketing officer that might come in and ultimately start valuable conversations with them once they've been hired. And we'll know that based on the fact that for following this company and there is someone that's hired, we can continuously look for, hop in. We've saved this company somewhere. If you have Sales Navigator, you've saved it in Sales Navigator and they'll alert you when there's a new change. But ultimately, there's gold in that knowledge, in understanding that there is a new person in the role that's a buyer. So, yeah, I love that.
So you got all that, as well as talk really quick, Bryn, about the Sales Navigator function. And you can actually see this in LinkedIn Premium in some form, I think, too. When companies are increasing growth, LinkedIn actually recognizes this and lets you know that these companies are growing.
Yeah, so you can do searches based on department growth or entire company growth inside of LinkedIn, you can search. I'm trying to think in premium. I don't think you can do that anymore in premium, but you
Oh,
can
okay.
search companies by company size. So it's
Right.
definitely a Sales Navigator. All the fun things went to Sales Navigator. So, but ultimately, yeah, you can monitor companies that are growing. But I really, truly believe this little trick in the Jobs app where you are notified when a new job is posted based on the titles you sell to is golden. You can get in earlier than anyone else.
Looking to up your LinkedIn game? The Social Sales Link team has you covered with our LinkedIn Sales Accelerator, a guided social selling program that includes training, coaching, and so much more. Visit socialsaleslink.com/in for more details. Again, that's socialsaleslink.com/in.
Into those conversations.
That's huge. That's absolutely huge. So, using LinkedIn and something that it's already good at for your purposes, but yet weren't designed for your purposes, but get in there, use it, and hopefully you can get some sales conversations started and get things farther down the road with those new people, as well as, just like Bryn said, the person left for a reason. If they went to another company, you can get that conversation started as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the other thing that I like, and this is where it's going to get a little specialized, and not everyone is going to be able to take advantage of this. So this is where you can get, using LinkedIn Job Alerts, is an area where you can get intelligence on the products or services that they use, that the stuff that you sell might be ancillary to. In other words, if you sell like a plugin for Salesforce or something like that, if they're coming in, if these companies are advertising for a new Salesforce administrator or higher up, maybe even a VP of sales or something like that, a new VP of sales is going to come in and look at everything. So why not get in with them as they're coming in to potentially sell towards something that they already have within their business? And I just mentioned just one little brief, very specialized example, but I know that in all of these industries, there are similar types of situations, and you can definitely take advantage of those.
Yeah, I mean, and I may be doubling because I was reading at the same time, but let's say you sell to a company that has Salesforce. Did you say this? Because I was reading.
Salesforce. Yeah.
Okay, so you're selling into a company that has Salesforce. Sometimes it's difficult to identify, even though Sales Navigator has technologies used, sometimes it's difficult to identify what products or services a company is using. And the fact that they're hiring a Salesforce administrator lets you know immediately that's a company that sells that. So what I recommend everyone do is look at what technologies, if you're not a technology person. So if you sell to marketing, maybe you want to know who has a HubSpot admin. Maybe you want to know someone that needs Canva skills, right? All of these things can be found inside of the open jobs. So look for those skills that are complementary to what you do, and you'll start to identify not just the people to talk to, but the companies, which I think I repeated what you said there, Bob, but
no, it's okay. It's a little bit of a further explanation. So, it's like I was saying before. These are things that you're not necessarily going to get just from studying the company in general, because when companies are looking for people and they're looking for specific people, they're going to tell you what they need because they have a need for it. If you have a product or service that, like with the Salesforce example, you sell something that's associated with Salesforce, there's a need there. That's when you can go in. And like I said before, there are a lot of different instances and a lot of different industries that have that similar type of situation. So definitely look for those. And I think that we're going to wrap up with the fact that, and Bryn's alluded to this already, I just want to kind of put a bow on everything. You can get all this stuff. You don't have to be on LinkedIn Jobs all the time, because LinkedIn will let you know when your criteria has been found in a new listing, and it will let you know.
And
which
you
is
do
great.
that through making sure that you've clicked on the bell for job alerts.
Right.
Right. So you want to make sure that you've clicked on that, and then you will be updated as those happen. But, this is a completely underutilized area, and we recommend that you utilize it a little bit more.
Yeah, so go into it, play around with it. This is something that you're going to definitely need to devote a little bit of time to play around with. But I think that, you may find some things that we're not thinking of that you can use job alerts or that you can use just LinkedIn jobs in general for, I should say. And, if you do, let us know because we would love to hear about it. So with that in mind, thanks again for joining us on Making Sales Social Live. If you're with us right now, live on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or any of those types of places right now, we do this every week, so keep an eye out for those live sessions. If you're listening to us on our podcast, so we're recorded, and you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe or follow button so you'll be able to see all of our previous shows and be alerted when new ones drop. More deets on the podcast are at socialsaleslink.com/podcast. socialsaleslink.com/podcast. We do this show every week, and we also do our Making Sales Social interview series where we talk with leaders and experts in sales, marketing, business, and many, many more areas. So when you are out and about this week, make sure that your sales are
social. Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Don't miss an episode. Visit socialsaleslink.com/podcast. Leave a review down below. Tell us what you think, what you learned, and what you want to hear from us next. Register for free resources at linkedinlibrary.com. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Play. Visit our website, socialsaleslink.com, for more information.